Oh,
Sorry about that.
oh, you're fine.
So we just good to have an extra recording because I know there's going to be one on Facebook here. But so you're saying that with your arthritis before the program, you're experiencing, some of the really common symptoms, and you have rheumatoid arthritis, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So really experiencing, you said like some of the deformities in your fingers and your hands, just really starting to experience some of that lack of mobility, from simple things like not being able to open up a water bottle. And can you tell us a little bit more about how your arthritis symptoms and that increasing lack of mobility was affecting, everything from like day-to-day life to some of the, bigger things in life?
Oh my gosh, it affected everything. Um, Putting dishes away, doing daily chores, doing my job, sitting in my office chair. My shoulders would ache so much, and the position, or would affect my hips. Um, and I would, just to get out of the chair would be achy.
Mhm.
So it really, I was at a point that something had to give. I didn't want my future to be that way. It was like, I don't want to live in pain constantly. And prior to the program, nothing had been working.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that's where most people are who become my clients are at when we talk. It's they've been trying other things and they've just kind of reached their wits' end and need to do something. Something has to change, right? So, Chris,
Yeah.
can you tell me, like, what had you been trying to manage your arthritis before
Um,
joining the program?
I had cut out gluten. I had eliminated most dairy. Um, I tried a couple different diets. Um, you know, like a bland diet. Not really cutting everything out like our diet. To find out what the triggers were. So I had tried different things. I had tried different physical therapy programs, um, and they gave me some relief, but it wasn't continuous relief. And none of them allowed me to lower my medicine doses,
Mm-hmm.
which the medicine that I was on, especially the prednisone, I was on 20 milligrams of prednisone every day. Well, it was starting to play, my face was swelling, um, you know, other aches and osteoporosis from being on the prednisone. So I was developing other issues. I
Hmm.
needed to wean off of it, but I couldn't get off because it was the only thing that kept me moving daily. So none of the things I tried um, made it so that I could still eliminate some of that medicine. I was doing turmeric. I was doing these specialty drinks, some anti-inflammatory stuff. Um, and while they helped, they just um, wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Um, I learned so much through the program, um, what my body likes and doesn't like, way more than I expected. So that was huge. I mean, things that I've done my entire life, my body really doesn't like,
Mhm.
as I found out. So those were key things that I would have never even thought to give up in the past.
Yeah.
And the doctor had never recommended it or suggested that or anything. I just didn't have that help.
Yeah, and I hear this all the time. It's so interesting because it's not like those other practices or health practitioners or things that you were doing. It's not like those are bad things. Those can be a really great, part of your health plan or
Yes,
program that you give yourself. But like you said, it wasn't giving you that sustainable relief. It was that more temporary or it helped a bit, but it just didn't move the needle quite enough.
right.
And being able to learn what your body really is not okay with and what it is can be really eye-opening. I have a lot of clients who they were, let's say, I'm just as an example, almonds. They're like, I love snacking on almonds and I have almond milk because it keeps up dairy, and then they come on the program and then they realize a month later, oh my goodness, almonds are making me feel terrible. I had no idea,
Yes.
these things that we do not knowing.
Yes. And that's a perfect example because nuts in general, I used to snack on almonds, walnuts, and like a cran mix, a heart healthy little packet. And my body will not tolerate those at all.
Mhm.
Now that I've, stepped away from it and I tried them and I just couldn't even tolerate it. It just immediately hurt my stomach. And I didn't even know I had a nut sensitivity at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, when we do what I call kind of the inflammation reboot and we take out
Yeah.
all of the things that are potential irritations and triggers and we give that up for, the minimum of 30 days and until we're feeling really good. And then we teach you how to gradually bring things back in so your body can tell you, what's working. And the beautiful thing is too, is that, a food that might still be irritating you now months down the road, as your body gets stronger and healthier from the inside out by continuing with the tools that you've learned, you might be able to have some nuts again in the future. It's
Yeah.
possible. It's possible. It's just that right now, that's a trigger for you. And it just is a signal that, that's just a not for now food, might be a for later food.
Right.
But can
Yep.
you tell me, Chris, and I know that everyone, especially if you're, I met you, I was a stranger on the internet to you. You came into my group. I'm sure you saw one of my advertisements on Facebook and you ended up in the group and we ended up connecting. And I know that it's normal to have a healthy skepticism, of course. As I said, I was a stranger on the internet. So can you tell me maybe some of the hesitations that you had before joining the program, or maybe
um,
some of the yeah, just the hesitations that you had, if
the
any?
hesitations were before I joined, what was the cost of this going to be? What is it another fad? Is they say this is going to work, and there doubts, doubts, because the other things I had tried had helped, but not worked long term. So there was always that fear. What am um, and I stayed back for I don't know, probably 3 or 4 months before I joined.
Mhm.
Looking at the Facebook posts, reading people's stories, um, getting some emails from you, and then finally, talked with my husband about it. And at that time, I didn't even know the cost. And it's like, well, what do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose. I can only at this point gain. I've already thrown money away on other programs. I've already, if it works, that'll be fantastic. So, at this point, we don't have nothing to lose. I'm in pain. I need to be out of pain.
Mhm.
So let's try it.
Awesome.
And months later, I feel tremendously better.
That's amazing. And Chris, what did you first notice about the anti-arthritis method program that helped you? Like, what was kind of the first difference that you noticed?
Support, the support. Once I was involved, listening to other people go through this. I mean, I have my friends and family know what I go through, but they don't know what I go through. They can't feel it. So to watch and to listen to other people's struggles and how they were adjusting to the plan and their failures and rewards and what they've done, that was tremendous. Um, just knowing, hearing somebody that really went through it, somebody that, yes, I've succeeded, or this is working for me. That's completely different than reading it, hearing it, and being live in the groups. So the support was fantastic. That was it kept me going. When you want to give up or you're craving or that kept you going. and not giving up.
Yeah.
So that was the best thing, is having the online support. And I could email you and ask questions about this food or that food, or help me with a recipe for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I struggled with breakfast items for a while. And what am I going to eat? Lunch, dinners were easier than breakfast for me because I'm also diabetic. So
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't eat fruit. It would
Mm-hmm.
spike my blood sugar. So the support and listening to the weekly group meetings and reading what everybody, has gone through was phenomenal.
Good.
That was the best thing, because a lot of times I'd miss the meetings, but I could come back and listen to them at my convenience, and that helped me tremendously.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. I know that I've had clients in the past who were quite soft spoken and more introverted. And they said that the thing they liked the most about the program and the least was the live calls, because they felt, kind of shy to come on the call and talk about themselves. But then they also felt that it gave them the most benefit to be able to
Yeah.
connect with their members and hear other people's stories. And I know for myself, back when I got sick, oh gosh, it's been 10 years now. I couldn't, there was nothing, and it gets lonely when you can't talk to somebody who can
No,
understand what you're
nobody
going through.
understands. Yeah.
And I
I
think
mean,
also, sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, yeah, they can't understand the pain you feel, or the frustration when you can't make a fist, or do something
Mhm.
for yourself. That's probably the most frustrating thing with arthritis, is the limitations that it can give you. And
Absolutely.
you just feel at times worthless. And
Mhm.
it's like, your body is um, betraying you.
Mhm. Oh,
So,
I completely get that 100%. I'm sure there's so many people that are just listening and shaking their heads. Yes. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So now that you've gone through the program, and I get to continue working with you as an alumni member, which is wonderful. So you're going to stay in the group and continue to, have access to those group calls and myself. Can you tell us, Chris, what's changed for you from, before the program to now? Like, what can you do that you couldn't do before? How are you feeling?
I can make a fist, nice tight
Yay!
fist. um, I can wash my pots and pans. I feel I have my strength is coming back. I can open a water bottle. Where before I had to use the accessory tool or have my husband do it. I don't have to do that. I can do it on my own. I still
Amazing.
have a few problems with like medication bottles, like you have to squeeze and push down.
Mhm.
Um, but every third try, I can get one of them too.
Mhm.
So each day, um, and the best part is waking up and not being in total pain. I might be a little stiff, I might be a little achy, but I'm not in pain. So the pain I may still have is tolerable compared to, I couldn't lift my shoulder, I couldn't, or couldn't sleep well because of the aches and pains. And so I'm sleeping better. But I notice it a lot more in my gait, my walking, but mostly my hands, because I can make those fists again right from the get go in the morning. And it's like a present every morning. I wake up and it's like, oh, I can still do this.
Mhm.
And that just keeps you going. That alone right there, just being able to do things for yourself again that you had lost or thought you had lost.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And in terms of like, how does that like make you feel? Like when you think about, okay, I can do the things like physically now that I haven't been able to do for a long time. And when you think about that, like how does that make you feel? How has that improved your life?
um it makes me joyous and thankful. Because the pain and the debilitating loss or function, there's no way around it. You get depressed,
Yeah.
and like you don't feel worthy. Well, it's like the more I gain, the more I can do for myself. I've always been very independent. That just makes me joyous and blessed. that I will take anything I can get back, and not at the pain, just not having the constant pain. And it's the disease hasn't gone away, but I'm learning, and every day is something new. But I continue to learn how what I do, what I eat, what I intake, what I drink, um, gives me more control on how my body's reacting to this. So I feel, joyous and thankful for that.
I love that so much. I think what it really comes down to that's so important to all of us is having that quality of life come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel like you can, I can drive my car. I can hold onto the steering wheel. I mean, it's the little things we just take for granted that, when you lose them, or they're very difficult, or you're afraid to drive because my hands aren't grasping the wheel well. That I'm 58. I don't want to go the rest of my life without being able to drive my car
Mhm.
or have someone take me somewhere all the time. So, yes, definitely your independence, and having the quality to do things on your own and not constantly asking for help. I mean, that is just a blessing in itself. And I can leave the house by myself now. So
Mhm.
it's a lot of little things have come out of this.
That's amazing. And you said you were able to reduce or get rid of some of the medication too?
Yes, I went from 20 milligrams of prednisone. I'm down to 5.
Awesome.
As far as the methotrexate, I was on 6 a week, and I'm down to 3. So I've cut those in half. I'm not taking near as much like Tylenol or pain reliever, and I haven't had to take any pain meds for the arthritis.
Mhm.
When things would get real bad, I would have to take tramadol. So I haven't taken any of those now. So I've been able to cut down, and I just figure as I continue, um, getting strength and mobility, I'll be able to continue to cut down.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So,
That's
um, now there were some other health issues that interrupted some of my progress. Like I slipped and fractured my back. Well, it had nothing to do with the RA, but I can't imagine what pain that would be if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now.
uh, well, and that's what I think is so incredible about you, Chris. Like you've had other health issues. I know you have an upcoming surgery, and
Yeah.
like you said, you slipped and you fractured your back. That's major, but
Oh
you
gosh, that
continued.
hurt.
But you continued with the program. And here's the thing that like full transparency, I know the program isn't easy. Like I think that some of my clients coming in, they have the right mindset and it's easier for them because they're ready, and they're in a positive frame of mind. They're ready to do this. They know they can do this, but you still have challenges, and that's where the
Oh,
support comes in and the
the
customization comes
challenges were
in.
tough.
Yeah.
Giving up for me, coffee. Giving up
Mhm.
coffee. I wake up every morning. I grab a cup of coffee. So that was the hardest part for me was that morning routine.
Mhm.
And then come to find out, coffee doesn't agree with me whatsoever.
Yeah, who knew,
once I,
right?
yeah, once I gave it up, um, it was like, and then tried to bring it back in. Like I can do the mushroom coffee. Um, I can tolerate that, but like McCafe coffee or Folgers coffee, um, they just immediately affect my stomach.
Yeah.
I can take a couple sips of it, and it's just like, oh, my body rejects it. I
Hmm.
don't even get through a quarter of a cup if
Yeah.
I try another one. So that is something I'd been doing for years,
Hmm.
and it was the hardest thing to give up was the
Yeah.
caffeine. And now, even with the rise mushroom coffee, um, I'm only drinking a half a cup a day, and other than that, I've been drinking non or decaffeinated teas
Hmm.
and water. I've doubled my water intake, these last few months. So, and my body craves it. It's like if I don't have it,
Hmm.
it's I don't go anywhere now without my water bottle. So
Yeah.
that was a big one. I drank water before, but I wasn't really getting enough water.
Mm-hmm.
I that as much as I needed, and it's a trial and error. I still haven't brought all normal foods in. It's I do things for a week or two and just kind of see how, and then I bring one more thing in, or I try one more thing, and we kind of see um, where I'm at with it, or if it's affecting inflammation or affecting my stomach. And then, so I've taken a lot of baby steps, um, returning back to all foods.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, and things that, like I said, things that I ate daily, or not even daily, but I would have never. Mashed potatoes is another one. I cannot eat mashed potatoes. Little red potato, I can't eat potatoes. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why. I can do sweet potatoes, which are not my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't bother me. But other regular potatoes, mashed potatoes, they really bother my stomach.
Yeah. And it's,
They
and
don't make
that's,
me inflamed, but they really, my stomach don't like them at all.
yeah. And everyone's so unique in what their
It's,
body likes and dislikes. And this process makes you so aware of your body and so in tune with your body and what it needs and what it doesn't like. And it is challenging, giving up some of those foods and some of the beverages that are just such a like a habit for us, or just something that
yeah,
we've had or used and eaten for so long. I know myself, like I had a very specific breakfast I ate for years and I looked forward to it every morning. And when I got sick and I learned about the anti-arthritis method before it became the anti-arthritis method, and was learning what I couldn't and my body liked and didn't like, it took me a while, to get used to some different foods and new things. But if you keep trying, you reach out for support, you will find other things that you do like.
yes.
And so,
And
yeah, it makes
that's
a
been,
difference.
yeah, it's made a big difference. And it was like, I, in a million years, nobody would have told me coffee was the culprit or mashed potatoes. And I wasn't a big mashed potato eater anyway, but, or baked potato, we didn't once a month, but it was like, who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but even like a couple days ago, I tried it again. It's like, glutton for punishment. It's like because you enjoy them and they're a comfort food, you want to try them. It's like, nope. I only took a couple bites and I'm like, nope, I cannot do this.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe in another 3 months, but as you
Yep.
even get stronger and healthier, maybe you can. Maybe it'll be one of those foods that you can have once a week or something
Yeah.
and be
And,
fine with.
but it's, yeah. So it's interesting. Um, and then things that you would expect to not like, or um, that you would think would bother you. But once you adjust to it, like, broccoli or kale, um, they'll make me a little gassy, but I tolerate them and they don't make me hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I can bring them into my salads and into, different dishes. And, um, I learned a lot of, um, I want to say baking process, baking the vegetables, roasting the vegetables versus steaming, or, I mean, I found I like the baked vegetables or roasted vegetables better than steamed vegetables. Me
Mm-hmm.
personally, um, we really liked the roasted carrots and, some of the others, the roasted asparagus, um, that were foods I didn't eat before just because I didn't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So just different ways of cooking or trying things. And a lot of those ideas came from you or people in the group.
Yeah.
Oh, let's try that. They do it this way. Okay, well, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
So that support and that learning, there's more than one way to cook a meal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I love all of this that you have to say, Chris, and I could talk to you forever about these things. But I have one more question for you.
Hmm.
Because, like I was saying before, like I know the program can be challenging, and that's why I always say make sure you reach out for support whenever you have questions. Like, no question's a silly question. We can talk about anything as long as we're going to get you to your goal, right? So, can
Yep.
you tell me one of the things that you're most proud of accomplishing in this process of being in the program?
Gosh, sticking with it.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with it. And then the realization, what you eat is what makes you. You hear that, but we have always shopped. Everything's processed nowadays. You go out to eat, it's processed. You go to the store, it's processed. Um, I found I tolerate organic meats um, way better than even before. Even before I knew I could only eat red meat a couple times a week or I would have a flare up. But with the organic beef, I can have a steak a couple times a week and I no longer have a flare up. The difference in meats and how the cattle is um, raised, there is really a world of difference in that. And I never knew that. So to be healthy, you don't have to just eat salads. And
Absolutely.
that was a big learning curve. And you learn to try new foods, and there's foods out there that maybe you'd never tried that you find you like,
Mhm.
or can tolerate, or you'll learn to like, and things that you've done all your life, like my coffee, that just don't work anymore. So you find hot tea. I just get up and drink water in the morning now.
Mhm.
But
Amazing.
that that was probably the biggest learning lesson. And then, of course, who doesn't like the improved joints and making fist and
Mhm.
more better mobility all the way around?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it makes it all worth it, all that new learning and trying new things and to feel a world of difference better, right?
Yes, oh, tremendously. And if I tried something or I overate something, I just go back to the beginning. I
Yeah.
just cut things out and then bring it back in, and it will probably be, the new motto going forward. I won't quit trying things, but I learn real quick. My body tells me,
Yeah.
once you clean out the stuff, your body tells you what it likes and what it doesn't like,
Hmm.
for sure. And people have said that before, but you just never realize it till you actually do it
Yeah, there's
and
definitely
stick
a
with it.
process. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
our mind, our mental mind, because we live in today's world and everything's processed. Well, why can't I have that? Everybody else can eat it. But it just doesn't work for us that have RA, or for me, it doesn't
Hmm.
work. But I found there's just so many things I cannot tolerate,
Yeah.
packaged foods and meats, and you know
Yeah.
so that's been the biggest thing that in the opening water, my biggest accomplishments. And it's going to keep learning. I'll keep learning as I bring things in. And I've cheated and had a sandwich from like one of the deli places, and maybe tolerated it, but then the next day I'll feel the effects, and it's like, okay, that wasn't very smart. But you get in a rush and you haven't had anything, and I'm diabetic, so I need something, and it's what's there, and it's like, okay. So I'm learning to deal with those things. Okay, take a snack with me, be prepared, um, so that I don't continue or go backwards. um,
Absolutely. And it is, it's a
so
continuous learning process. It's not, over in 3 months and then you go back
no.
to what you were doing before. It's a continual thing. You continue to weave it into your life and integrate it into your life as you go. And it's about, yeah, keep trying bringing foods back, see how you do. And because we want you to have a large range of foods that you can eat and enjoy that your body is happy with. And it's a process, and everything's a
Yes.
little different. And it's all about figuring out and just being in tune with your body and what it needs. So, and you've done amazingly well, Christine. Like I said, I'm just so amazed and impressed by you, how you've like made it through this process and you have stuck it out even in the midst of other health issues that have cropped
Yeah.
up. So congratulations
Well,
to
thank
you.
you.
Like if I could hand you a gold medal, I would because you deserve it. And again, thank you so much for sharing your
No,
story with
thank
us
you. Thank
today.
you. Yeah, life changing. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. It truly, truly is my pleasure. It makes everything about this business and this program that I have just so worth it when I hear
Oh,
from people like you and that your quality of life has improved. So it's wonderful. So,
awesome. Thank you.
yes, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I know that anyone who is watching, if Christine's story resonates with you, reach out to me. I am happy to answer your questions. So,
Yes, and you can reach out to me too, and I'll
absolutely.
answer anything.
Oh, thank you so much, Christine. I really appreciate that. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk soon. And we'll see you in the group, Christine.
All right. Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.